Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in with us. Um, I'd like to thank JBO for collaborating with us for this webinar. And welcome to the third episode of Pages of Growth series by Timebox. I'm Riddhi Gala, the founder of Timebox. Our topic for the day is boost your professional image. Your image, your personality reflects what you're thinking, right? So it's important to have a positive growth mindset. So I thought just let's create some positive energy by singing just two lines. तू शाही है बसेरा कर पहाड़ों की चट्टानों पर खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से ये पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है. There is unlimited potential in us, right? But sometimes we are not aware of our potential, and we need someone to help us realize it and polish it. We need a mentor, and that's why we have today with us a very special guest, a dynamic personality, Miss Tarveen Kaur, founder of Personify. She is a highly skilled, enthusiastic professional specializing in personal and corporate image branding. Ms. Kaur has vast experience in training corporate heads, professionals, entrepreneurs, and students, individuals from all walks of life in the field of personality development, enhanced communication skills, and brand building. Hi, Tarveen, how are you?
Hello, Riddhi, and a very warm welcome to everyone, and good evening. And thank you for that. First of all, a great opening. Love hearing your voice. I can see on chat also people are saying lovely voice. It sets the whole tone and the mood for the day. It lifts us all the energy because we have been in this sitting home environment. So that's something very vibrating. And thank you for the kind words and of appreciation. Yes, I'm really excited and looking forward for this whole series today. And thank you to each and everyone who's joined in and people who are viewing us live on Facebook also. I'm very thrilled to be sharing some insights today, and I hope that can be, insightful to you as well.
Welcome to our show. Would you like? Can you tell us something more about yourself? Like why image consultancy and what? How can image consultancy help us?
I think that's a very good question to start with because a lot of time people have this little confusion about this whole concept of image consultancy. So just like Ridhi's already given my introduction, but just to give a little brief about myself, I'm Tarveen Kaur, founder at Personify, an internationally certified image consultant from Image Style Academy, Manhattan. Along with that, I'm a brand communication strategist from London School of Technology, as well as a globally certified NLP practitioner and an LD corporate trainer from Trading Qualifications UK. Now, all these things why I have mentioned is because these are the part of what comes into an image development. Now, to get into the part of what we do at Personify, basically at Personify, we work with individuals, professionals, business owners, help them to understand what are their unique skill sets, goals, assess and evaluate it, and then help them craft a great personal image which makes them in turn seem as more believable, trustworthy, and highly competent individual, syncing their personal brand to their personal and professional goals and interests. Now, talking about image consultancy is a professional field which is broadened to include a lot of topics under it. So, a lot of times when I started, my family would ask, is image consultancy like personality development? Is it like public speaking? Yes, it is, but it is far more. So there's etiquette, there's grooming, there's body language, there's presentation skill, communication skill, all the aspects that go together to present the brand you, which we work on. This is ourselves, we working on each other. That is something what image consultancy includes. And an image consultant is someone who's an expert of their field, who help their clients to go through the process of understanding what are their roles, what are their lifestyle, their passion, their interest, and then focus them and in sync by creating the crafting their true personal brand, which in turn impacts their professional image. So first you have to work on yourself, then only you can work in any field whatever you are doing.
That's true.
So just
Right.
in a gist, yes.
Right. So basically, yeah, that is so important that you need to work on yourself. I mean, yeah, you're creating a brand, but then that's you yourself or also a brand. So you need to work on yourself first and then progress ahead. Very interesting. What exactly is professional image? Like, what does it mean to project a professional image?
Professional image is something which you actually project an image in the professional business world. So to simplify this, I will break it into two ways. This professional image can be seen as a from two perception: a personal appearance and your personal behavior. So let's talk about personal appearance. When we talk about personal appearance, we do understand it's very important your visual appearance, how you dress, how you carry yourself, how you present yourself. Now when it comes to professionally dressing, now that depends on a lot of factors. It depends upon what is your company policy, what kind of profession are you in, how much is your interaction with clients or customers, what kind of functions do you have to attend, also your unique style. We all have a unique style. And what is your body type, because not you can just not pick up anything and imitate and wear it and you might look appropriate. So depending on these factors, and it's very important to keep this as a personal appearance, because it's not only about wearing a business suit. You can wear anything, like I said, as per your profession, your company policies, how much is your client interaction. Maybe you're sitting at the back end office. But the most important factor is you understand why this personal appearance or this dressing appropriately is important, because it helps in enhancing, first of all, your authoritative level. People start
Right.
looking at that position. So if you're at a certain position but you're also matching the image of that position, people are going to look at you as more credible and more trustworthy person. It can also promote your confidence, the respect you get, and also chances of getting a promotion or probably the advancements in your current workplace. It might open door for opportunities, because at every stage we're looking to grow from the stage we are at. So this is something is a one part of it. The second is personal behavior. When I speak about personal behavior, it is about how effectively you can communicate with people, how engaging you can be in a conversation. And now when we talk about communication in business or professional field, it's verbal, non-verbal, written. Because in business fields, in your environment, even your non-verbal communication sends a message: the way you
Yeah.
stand, the way you greet, eye contact, the facial expression, gestures. So all these things, obviously your verbal communication, listening skills, and behavior is about attitude. How do you handle a stressful situation? And coming to the second part of personal behavior is, one is communication, and we cannot ignore the importance of the finesse of manners and etiquettes in a professionalism. Because without that, because we live in a society, we work in a global world, there are certain protocols, there are certain rules of conduct that we need to understand as per the society manners and etiquette, and conduct ourselves in that behavior.
Right.
Most of the business engagements also happen over a cup of tea, coffee, dinner, lunch, entertaining. So knowing appropriate dining etiquette, how do you present yourself, how do you present yourself,
Right.
how do you give people the right titles. So this is something what a professional image is. Not a lot of time people have this thing: is professional image all about wearing a three-piece suit, or your
Absolutely.
attire is professional image, or wearing stilettos and a crisp business suit for a dress for a woman? It's beyond that.
Absolutely. I really liked your point that, communication and listening skills. And the best part about communication that I like that you pointed out, non-verbal. We all know about verbal communication, written communication, but somewhere I understand, non-verbal is not something that we, consciously keep in mind.
Yes.
So that's quite important on how you stand, how you sit, how you talk. So that's quite interesting. What is, what's the difference between professional image and professional brand? And is it that your brand reflects yourself, like does that depend on how you behave or how you are?
I love this question. It's one of my favorite questions, because a lot of time people get confused between an image and branding, and what is all branding about. And because we know about brands in general, okay, which brand phone you want to buy, what place you want to go and eat, what you want to
Right.
wear, about brand. But the most important brand is we ourselves, and we really do not give that much emphasis and focus on this. So professional image, like we just spoke about, it is exactly about your appearance, your behavior, your communication, your clothing, your grooming factor also is a very important part of your personal presence. About brand, one thing we have to understand: when we talk about personal brand or professional brand, your brand is not your logo. your brand is not even your company, and your brand is not even your product. So a lot of time we get attached to, as an entrepreneur, you are also an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur, so we might get attached to our company, our logos and everything, but really that's not what professional or personal branding is all about. Professional brand is a perception of what people think about you when they want to do business with you, work with you, or be with you. They are your customers. They are the people whom you interact with. They are anyone who has an impression about you. So basically, if you understand, your professional brand is created through the people who are around you and the perception they create about you. Because at the end of the day, we don't buy products or services, we buy relationship stories. And I think, Lady, that's what we can also say about you and me. To be on this platform today where we have come together is also not really because of a brand, logo, companies. It was the personal
Absolutely.
connection, what we created. And
True.
most of the time, this is what happens with any business interaction or deals happen. Very seldom it is, the project value, it's more the people value.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's quite interesting. That uh, it depends on how your clients or how your relationship is with people. So relationships is important. Networking is important. I just like to interrupt. All of you can ask in your questions in the Q&A section, and we'll take them going forward. So y'all can keep posting your questions, and we'll pick them up later. What are the three key characteristics of a professional behavior?
All right. Before I share this, I would like everyone, if all the participants, if you're ready for it, we'll do a small activity where I'm going to ask Riddhi to share a screen share with you. So
Sure.
hopefully you all can see.
Yeah,
And it's a very simple thing.
to do that.
If you, all you need is probably any notepad or pen or paper, anything you have in front of you. That's it. Just any rough paper. It will be a quick thing what we'll take over here. All right. So basically this is something which I did because as like, I know each one of you are aware about so many things. You're like maybe doing and following all these things. These are all aspects that are part of you. So I was like let's brainstorm a little bit more. Let's refresh our memory and actually understand this.
Right.
Is this how we are actually applying in the right ratio in our life? We might be doing all of these things, but are we doing in a right ratio? And this what I've given here, the percentage is not derived by me. This was an actual national survey which was conducted in the professional excellence field of Pennsylvania, where they wanted to understand what is professionalism. What are there are certain standards, there are certain expectations from a professional. So anybody could be a professional. A professional is right from the person who's working at the door is doing their job to the person sitting at the top of the league also. So, but there are certain norms, certain standards, certain expectations expected of them, and that is nothing to do with your job description, like okay, I have to do this my job. But if you see, the key points given here are, the first one is your interpersonal skills. That's basically the people interaction. How do you handle, what kind of team player are you, what kind of people skills do you have. Your communication skills, we just understood, what are basically communication skills, your verbal, non-verbal, written, listening skills. Time management, whether you value other people's time, punctuality, meeting the deadlines, how do you manage all these things. Your work
Right.
ethics. Work ethics is something which is like not buck passing, not blaming other people, being able to being accountable, taking the responsibility yourself. Appearance, I think we have just quite a bit understood about the kind part of appearance. Now, confidence is the most important key to get you started, to get you going, to believe. So there's a belief in yourself that okay, if this has happened, I will find a solution for it, I will find a way out of it, and I will complete this. So the having that confidence, or if you get an opportunity, not hesitating and going ahead and taking that opportunity. So it's the ability, it's the attitude and the mindset. Then knowledge. In here, which knowledge we are talking, we are not talking about knowledge about the job you're getting, because you're already in that job. We're talking about the standards of professionalism. So do you have the knowledge about the manners, etiquettes, the behavior, the conduct, how to relate to a certain situation. And ethical at the end is your personal integrities, your values, which are very, very important, which no matter whether you're doing it in the work field or outside the work field.
Right.
So I would request each one of you, the 8 points are not written in order. They have just been written in a way, whichever you think according to you is very important, that can boost your professional image, that can reflect a true powerful professional presence for yourself. Just put a percentage next to it. So if you think interpersonal skill is 25%, 10%, 33%, just write next to it. And then in a minute, we'll take 2 minutes and then we'll share the answers, then just to see for yourself, just to see how much do you give importance, because we all are
Right.
unique, so we all will give different weightage and importance to
Absolutely.
certain things.
So y'all can just, take a pen and paper and note down and just decide which skills or which properties or which characteristics, have how much weightage.
Yes.
So you just, you know, take a
Just
little 30
2
seconds
minutes.
off.
I hope everybody does this because it's fun. It will give you a good, brainstorming and reflecting into yourself.
Okay. Uh, we'll see the next one. Yeah.
Yes, please. So if you see the maximum what this when the survey was conducted, people when they did this, so in the survey, the people from HR manager, from the CEO, from different job hierarchy were taken, and they realized interpersonal skills. That's because when we work with people skills, interpersonal skills are basically a soft skills. So if you know the difference between soft skills and hard skills is what takes you to the job, and soft skill is what takes you through that job interview. We all might pass with the same degree, same certification, same qualification, and we get that interview. But what is that interview? Why do people call you for an interview? If only your CV was enough, or your qualification and degrees were enough, you could have got the job on phone call, also telephonic interview. But they
Right.
meet you in person because there are a lot of other things they're evaluating. So whenever you go for an interview, there are a lot of other panels of people sitting, and there are people gauging. It's just like the beauty contest. We never think the more the one we wanted to win, and we think, she's going to win the crown of Miss Universe or Miss World, but it's always somebody else, and we surprised because there are many other factors which go into evaluation. So interpersonal skills is your soft skills. If you can master your soft skill, trust me, even if you lack in anywhere, like sometimes we feel, only when I speak fluent English now, so I'll be, I'll gauge that. If I dress up in these brands or these kind of clothes, then only I will go. But actually, it is not. It is how you relate. I'm sure people are sitting here, whatever audience is there, in your life, आपकी the relations must be there कि जिसके साथ you just develop a rapport, and that is beyond what knowledge they have, from what background they come, what status they are into, but khali because you just like these people are those people that you just feel comfortable, and they have this certain kind of aura, they have this certain kind of personality. जब वो कुछ बोलते हैं, कुछ करते हैं, you just feel कि बहुत अच्छा लगा, I just इतना मेरा mood uplift हो गया, they just motivated me, they just inspired me. These are all interpersonal skills. This is like called basically how do you leave a good first impression, and
Mm-hmm.
which is very very important. If you can ace that up life mein, you open the door of opportunities every single day, because हम लोग रोज ही चलो अभी we are in COVID, we are not meeting people, but otherwise
Right.
we have an opportunity to meet people, and you never know, maybe your next door neighbor could be somebody who could have brought you opportunities. पर अगर आपने 5 years में उनको कभी hello ही नहीं बोला, interpersonal skills ही नहीं की, so how would you know you were looking for somebody else and you had an opportunity next door? So very very important. Of course, appearance, that is the visual communication. We spoke about non-verbal communication, verbal communication, written communication, but I think today, Riddhi, you will agree, we are sitting in an Instagram worthy world, जो सब कुछ फोटो पे, खाने से पहले खाने की फोटो खींची जाती है. Anything, you go to a restaurant or you see something, you see a beautiful sky also these days, the sky is clear. Before you admire the sky, you want to post the picture of the sky.
Exactly.
you know so this is the thing, everything is visual appearance, visual communication. तो अगर आपकी आंखों को भाएगा, अच्छा लगेगा, you will automatically want to know more about it. वो खाने का try भी करेंगे. So same way, when person's visual appearance is appropriate, nice, clean, groomed, neat, you want to know more about them. कि अच्छा आप क्या करते हो, who are you, what's your name. Imagine a person sitting shabby, shirt out, wrinkled. So this is something about personal appearance. Then communication skill. Of course, at the end, till we do not communicate, how would we take the next step forward of knowing
True.
how we can work together, how we can grow together?
Absolutely.
Time management is another word for life management. If you they say respect time, and life will respect you, and love life, and life will love you back. So it's very very important that we do that. Confidence is something a lot of people say कि नहीं, मुझे मैं अपने जॉब में अच्छा होना, पर मैं थोड़ा मिक्स अप नहीं होता, बोलती नहीं हूँ ज्यादा, ये वो, आई लाइक टू keep my अपने काम से काम and everything. that is not called lack of confidence. That is called lack of self-esteem. There's a difference between confidence and esteem. Esteem होता है जो मन के अंदर की ना वो खुद की little voice बोलती रहती है, नहीं 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 नहीं, क्या अगर गलत हो गया, people will judge me, something will happen. Confidence is action. I will do it. क्या होएगा ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा? I might learn a better lesson, but I take up that opportunity. And trust me, people in work field who have this opportunity, they will be the first one. They'll ask, "Can you do this?" And say, "हाँ हाँ मैं कर देता हूँ, दो, or I'll do it for you. Don't worry, I'll manage this." You will feel they're very highly competent people, more than confident, that they're ready to do. They're very enthusiastic,
Right.
ethical is what I just spoke about. And then work ethics. Now this knowledge, when you see only 10% is given to knowledge, when even first time when I saw this study, and I was like, only 10% to knowledge, because all the time we think, if I don't know knowledge of my subject, how can I sit in front of you? But trust me, today I'm sitting this webinar. There could be some questions you might ask me later. I might know answers of some, and there could be a possibility I might not know the right answer, or we could have a difference in opinion, which is
Right.
absolutely okay. But if I'm able to handle the other things, if I'm able to build that connection with you, if I can give you the main key points of it, I'm not Google, I'm not internet. We all can
Absolutely.
develop that knowledge. So many times हम बोलते हैं कोई चीज करने से पहले ना, because we want it to be excellent, so we will not do it, keep waiting जब तक perfection नहीं होगा, तब तक वो आपका idea old हो जाता है, आपका वो dream 3 महीने का था 3 साल में shift हो गया, you have not achieved your goal.
Right.
Because we think that we need to have more knowledge, we need to read more, we need to understand more. So
Absolutely.
we can close the screen, Riddhi. I hope this is easily understood. So answering Riddhi's question and coming to the point, the 3 key characteristics. So what this pyramid, we saw that too many. अगर आपको इसमें से simple thing you want to take back is 3 things, 3 A's. That are the 3 key characteristics of professional image: your appearance, your accountability, your ability. Your appearance, we have understood how it is. Not simple, straightforward. Be presentable. Your
Absolutely.
accountability, be authentic, have integrity, be able to handle situation, mind your language, the kind of words you use, also, and how you communicate to people.
True.
And your ability, be enthusiastic, be eager. People do not like dull people coming to work and sitting. Energy, your body language, all these. So these are what I would sum up. If you can take back 3 A's. So every time when you are getting ready, stepping out for a work, and right now maybe you're sitting at home and working also, get up and think of yourself that, am I working with the 3 A's? Because it affects your mood, your personality in every way. I
Interesting.
hope that helps the audience. Yes.
Yeah, we all should remember the 3 A's. Also, I really like the point on interpersonal skills that you mentioned. That it's not the language that they speak, or any, or the background that they're from. It's it's the way they speak, and that's what sometimes inspires you or motivates you. So I mean, I'd like to take the example of Narendra Modi ji. He speaks in Hindi, but he has that personality, that charm.
Absolutely.
So it is quite interesting that actually, and it makes sense now that carries maximum percentage. So yes, it's quite interesting.
Very rightly noted. In fact, it's a study in the world that the politicians create the best brand about themselves. And I think today we can say that about Mr. Narendra Modi. He is more a brand in himself, more than the prime minister. It's a
True.
brand in himself. So what he says is a different way. Like, everything he says, it becomes a slogan. It turns into
Exactly.
something. So that is called, crafting a very strong personal presence.
True. And you've just mentioned about social media while talking about appearance. We all know this is the digital era, and social media is playing a major role, especially now with the lockdown. Social media has gained more, visibility and stuff. So, so in this digital savvy world, is social media helping to build professionalism, or it's like breaking professionalism?
And I think no better time to discuss this, because everything today, I feel in a way it's a positive sign also, that we all have learned, which we should have done much before going more into virtual. Imagine, I'm realizing we save so much time and so many other ways. The productivity is increasing, advancement. Now, talking about, when we talk about in this social media presence affecting your professional image, we have to understand one thing. We live in an online world. So whenever, even if you're going for a job, your employers, your recruiters, or whoever it is, or whether you are also an entrepreneur or businessman or professional, first thing people always try to do is view your online presence. They go through maybe your LinkedIn page or any other work page just to see what's your online presence.
True.
And most of time, our digital whatever we have shared over there is a mismatch of something what we like, something what we have liked, or something which we did in spontaneous. Some people encouraged us to do something, we put that up, or sometimes in the worst case scenario, something with the internet never lets you forget. So it's a lot of things. So if you are someone who is, trying to create a personal image for yourself, a professional image for yourself, or a brand of yourself, do filter in your whatever things which are unwanted, which is not matching with your the message or the profession, the job. Like I said, what we liked maybe in college days we might not like now what we are doing now. So it's certain things that can be filtered. The main idea over here is not to the main goal actually here is not to put a false image about yourself. It's your online image also should reflect your true personality. It should reflect the stories of who you are, what you like, what are your interests, and that can open door for opportunity. So that means somebody looking at you, they get to know more about your personality from what they've seen. And to, like we said, networking, whether we meet people in networking events or whether we meet them in meetups or conferences, you leave a lasting impression on them. And when you leave that impression on them, they always like to want to connect back with you online. So it's very important. Some people say, oh, I stay away from social media, but today's a world where people want to look up for you, and suppose they're trying to look up for you after they met you and they can't find anything about you, or they find a wrong image. So it's very important that it should be matching with your true personality. And at the end, build your network, because what digital network can be built, you can't manually possibly go and build that kind of network, and your network is your net worth. So your online presence definitely is, if used in appropriate way, is only boosting your professional image and opening
Interesting.
door for opportunities. Yes.
Interesting. That's true. That you're actually, when they want to find about you, they will obviously look you up on the net. So you have to be present, and that you said, right, that many people these days are not there on social media. That they're like, oh, I'm away. But I think that will help build up your professionalism. So, but at the right places with the right content. And
Yes,
I
rest.
like the
Very
point about
important. Yeah. Consciously creating it. Just like you're creating your personal appearance and behavior, your online presence is also it's more like your passport to the
right.
world.
Right. And when you said about networking, that's also pretty important, right? As they say, networking is your net worth. So uh, that's where you will actually, build your professionalism, build your contacts. So that point you'll have to, yeah, seriously remember. Okay. Can you throw some light on some distracting, professional behaviors that, have a negative impact on a person's professional demeanor?
So, obviously, there are so many things that we unconsciously do it, and sometimes we all fall into the trap of feeling extra comfortable when we are doing certain kind of work. And these distracting habits are basically our subconsciously doing things which we think we are not doing is something wrong, and we are being very. So, for example, body language. You're sitting in a meeting. We are sitting right now in a discussion, or you are sitting getting ready for a brainstorming thing, and you unconsciously have this habit of clicking a pen or tapping your fingers on the keyboard, or just people have habit of shaking their leg, or just putting their head behind, playing with their hair, biting their nails. These are all very distracting habits, and you might think that in all innocence that I didn't do anything wrong. But in
Right.
your business world, everything like your non-verbal communication is 13 to 15% more effective than the verbal communication you do. So even if, like I said, if you can't say the right thing, you don't have the right code, and you can't be very eloquent like someone to speak with, so आप कुछ भी मत बोलिए, simple बोलिए, but you keep your habit, your body language appropriate, the way you're sitting, how much eye contact you're giving can make a good impact. Another distracting habit that which happens is the fillers we use in our communication, and that comes very naturally. We have a habit when we're thinking, we think loudly and we say like, okay, that. And your fillers can really hurt your impact. So very important, be conscious. Like, you'll say, I'll be like, I don't know. So these are fillers. A lot of times you have a habit, so we don't realize. So it's important that we know what we practice ourselves. We are somebody who are already interacting, like we understood interpersonal skills. So these are a part of your interpersonal skills. So we should not be able to, we should be able to keep these distracting habits away. So like I said, there are so many other kind of distracting habits. Is your urge to jump up and interrupt a conversation, that habit of that speaking. So keeping yourself, holding yourself, it's that because you quickly, This, when they're asking a question, you're always waiting for your turn and you're not listening to others and you're jumping to, because you want to say the answer before I forget the whole answer,
Right.
interrupting. Listening to, there's nothing more distracting, frustrating when you're working in a workplace environment and somebody's listening to music or YouTube videos while the time they should be working, and then sound is coming out, or their phone is vibrating over 20 times sitting over there. So these all small detailing things really create an impact. So, a lot of time people think that, okay, how does it matter? But trust me, it matters. And once, your bubble breaks about this and you start behaving this way, it won't be bypassing you easily. You will also feel like these things actually matter. And that's how we like these personalities. When you look at these personalities, we make a small thing also, what they said in the interview, how they sat also, we'll make quickly a judgment about our favorite star
Right.
also and sports person. So imagine, we are not even to that public figure, so people will judge everything about what we do.
True. Yeah, I really like that when you said that that uh, appearance, or that you should be. I like the point on communication when you said that you should be able to show that you are listening, and that's what they say. Communication involves listening also. It's not just your what you talk or verbal communication, but
Yes.
listening is also an important thing. That when you want to jump and just say something, that's what you have to keep in mind also. Can you tell us the quickly top 5 workplace etiquette tips that a professional should know?
So I want to, before I say about these 5 workplace etiquette tips, which I feel, so there's so many, but I will talk about 5 key tips, because which I have observed over the period of time being an etiquette trainer and a professional in the field and working in different corporates and organization, and my experience. First and foremost, etiquette is something which is called, though it's a set of rules and conducts and principles, but in simplest layman language, it means polite behavior. It means not offending others. It is not about uh, you know being ignorant about others feelings. So that is called etiquette. Now agar aapko wo samajh aa jaye ki if I have to be nice towards other person, I don't have to offend them, means if you want to give a criticism, you want to give a feedback, you have to give any opinion, how do you do it? So 5 etiquette, the first and foremost thing, which as a professional which we are talking today, is greetings and introduction. Lot of time we don't even know whether we should call the person Mr. So and so, Miss so and so, Mrs. So and so,
Right.
first name, last name, what are the titles they need to be
Um,
the title they need to be
your
introduced,
network is a
and
little.
there's a proper etiquette. Is it okay? It's not showing anything
Okay, now it's
here,
proper.
but okay,
Yeah.
could be in, okay. So I'll just say again. So I was talking about greeting and introduction. So using the right title to introduce people is very important, especially when you're in a professional world where you're meeting people of different hierarchies. You're meeting clients. You're meeting, suppose you call a Miss, Mrs. or Mrs. Miss or whatever, or Mr., and you do not know the right title, or if you have to call a professional, how do you call? Because there are certain titles to certain dignitaries. You call them with their titles. So it's very important to understand that your first icebreaker with somebody is saying hello to them, and when you say hello to them and you pronounce the wrong name, or you greet them with the wrong title, you have done the first collapse of that connection they would have done with you, that their interest in you, they might have just have that suddenly a defense guard in front of them. Second is handshake. A lot of time people do not do handshake, and in a professional word, I just want to, everyone who's here today listening to us, there used to be a time where there used to be a hesitation in, especially in gender opposites, that whether a man should put a hand first or a woman should put a hand first. Today we are in a very modern fast paced world, so whether it's a man or woman doesn't make a difference. The idea is, when two people meet, they should put their hand forwards to do a handshake. And then there are certain tips and tricks of how you do a proper handshake, and trust me, though it sounds just like a handshake and even a child we might do it, but when we grow up and as an adult and as a professional, there are certain norms that need to be followed. And I'm telling you, with my experience, I've done handshake with the biggest CEOs also of the company, and there are things that get missed. So very important, master at least this, nothing else. You master how do you greet. So these etiquette, so this is the first and foremost etiquette, because this will not only help you in your current job profile, but wherever you're going involved, and you can train the people in your family around you, make a work culture like that around you. The second most etiquette, I would say, is be considerate. Like I said, you're using that office space, maybe the same canteen or the same kitchen or the same sink and all, and how you leave your food over there. You clean up after you've eaten. You're using the same coffee machine or cup of water filter. Yes, today maybe when we go back, we're going to be very conscious about sanitization. So it should not be just because of this few months we should take care of all those things. But after you use a washroom or you these things, these are etiquettes and these are the rules which we were taught years right from the child. It's just that when we have grown, it has taken a back seat. Your body odor, if you're someone and you know you live in a tropical country, and if you sweat and this, you should have your deodorant, you should have your roll spray with you. You cannot have your shirt which has a sweat patch over here, or you're sweating from here or there's sweat here. Imagine when you look at somebody like that, how uncomfortable you will feel. So that same way they will feel about you.
True.
When you're going for a meeting, you just quickly see your mouth. There's no food stuff right after work you've had a meeting. So these are very, like, be considerate. Like I said, you don't offend people. So offending people is not always by words you're offending. Also with your non-verbal communication, you can offend people. Third thing, the golden magical words. This is where manners. When we were small, our parents used to teach us, thank you, welcome, sorry, excuse me, uh, what did I say? Thank you, sorry, welcome, excuse me, and which is the fifth one. I forgot myself. Thank you, sorry, excuse me, welcome, and the 5 magical words which we say. Audience, please. Right, that's what. So these are the 5 magical words which we use, and you see, as we grow up, what happens, suddenly we think because we belong to a certain, we're busy in the work and we are the boss, and say, come here. Now, how it's not only rude, but it's very annoying me. The minute I'm coming also to you, giving away my whole totality of my day, my whole
Um, I think there's a little network issue. Can you hear me, Tarveen? Meanwhile, um, let me talk about something that I know about. One of these aspects was one of the important characteristics in the whole pie chart that we saw was time management, and that is something that I resonate with because that's quite important. And one number that actually changed my life. We see that there are people who are everyone has only 24 hours in a day, right? But what is it that makes successful people different from others? And that's when I researched and I found this particular number, 1440. Do you know what is so 1440 is the number of minutes that you have in a day, and that's the difference. These successful professionals, successful people, uh, take account of every single minute that they spend, and that's how they are able to achieve more. And that's how I have tried to uh, incorporate this thing in my life. And I thought, if and the best thing about this, if you want to account for every minute, they what you can do is plan, right? So planning is pretty important. I have I started planning from a young age, and that's how I could uh, finish, do a lot of my qualifications along with my hobbies. I sing, I dance. So and I thought that this has helped me so much, and I want people to take advantage of this. That's why I created a planner which has, it's an all-in-one planner where you have of course your planning section, but it takes care not only of your professional needs but also your personal needs. So it takes care of your health, how many glasses of water you're drinking, to how much time you're putting into fitness, or how much time are you wasting on social media. So basically it just gives you a reflection of yourself, and I think that is it's like it'll give you so basically you're accountable for yourself, right? You can lie to anyone else, but you can't lie to yourself. So it's basically you are being accountable for yourself. So we have her back now. Hi.
Sorry, everyone. Sorry once again. Technical glitch completely thrown out. Just we were talking about the boons of having social media presence and the digital connection. All
Your
right. So I
bandwidth
was
is low.
talking about
I'm
the.
hopeful
Sorry.
that your bandwidth is still low, so I just hope that it doesn't go away again.
I hope so not.
Okay, cool. Well, I used the time to actually, mention about one of the characteristics that you mentioned in the pie chart. And I spoke about time management because that's where I could resonate with. And I was telling them about my planner, how I thought that planning can help. So, yes, coming back to your
Absolutely.
question.
And I think, yes, and yes, about the planner, there's something which I cannot do without, and which I feel as a professional, it's a most. I mean, as an individual, because it, like I said, and this is actually a proven study done in Harvard. So they had this where they asked people, what are your dreams, what are your goals, and we all have dreams, aspiration, and goals. And
Yeah.
when as per that, they asked them to okay, then state it. And when they did the study, only 3% of the people out of that had their goals, which were there was a goal, there were written goals, and there was a plan. There were 13% of people who had goals, but they had not written them, and there were 84% of people who had just thoughts like, okay, this is what I want to do, and no specification. So
Right.
basically, someone, you have to understand, goals are something which are written because they need to be specific, they need to have a deadline. If you do not know, how many times you have had this new year resolution, we wanted to learn something, we wanted to read these many books in a week, or we wanted to start exercising, wanted to drink as much water in the day, and all that kind of thing.
Right.
So just in between, I'm trying to bring up, and this is something which I have this all the time with me on my desk, morning, evening, because this is not only just like a work planner for me, it works in many areas, in the sense, like, for simple thing, a habit tracker. Like, I love to do my daily affirmation, so I don't know how visible it will be from here, so I've written here in pencil my daily affirmation, and then I keep marking in color to do that, because I think today we realize, and especially in the time we are, um being grateful for everything what we are, being safe and being in that environment is very important. It's nice to reiterate to yourself. Then I write my fitness goals, because sitting at home, sometimes you can just be like, okay, forget it, let it go,
Absolutely.
tomorrow, today we get lazy. So for all the individuals who are there, one thing I really like, before I go, I would say that I love this year what she has written. I don't know, Riddhi, did you mention that or no?
I haven't.
Okay, so I loved when I got this planner, and when I read that in this digital era, why a book and not an app? And this is precisely a lot of professionals, I'm sure, who are sitting the things like that, because my brother is someone who used to tell me, what are these? You need diary for a diary, to maintain a diary, because you make so many notes. Why can't you just do Google Calendar? You can do these apps. I mean, I do all of that also, but still I don't have this book. I think the old school touch of feeling, still reading a book from a book, the feel and the touch. And I'm sure a lot of you who are kinesthetic learners, who like that personal touch, people who are missing people, missing that affection, missing that kind of thing, they realize that, why. So I love what she's written also over here, that we all know about the distraction of social media apps on our phone. One notification and boom, 30 minutes go away. And that's so true. And on the other hand, the interaction of pen with paper is magical, because when you write something, it truly registers in your mind for a very long time. And it's true. And when you write it, you're being very true to yourself, and you remember it, that, I had written it, and what have I done about it? It's been 4 days. I said I will do this, and I haven't done. In fact, Niti, what I really liked is all these columns. The best part is over here, like, set your monthly goal, your challenges. Now, challenge, this is something where today, whatever we have spoken about your personal appearance, personal behavior, boosting your professional image. So your challenge could be in the area of appearance. And the appearance could be like, I like to wear these kind of shirts, but maybe I need to lose that little, love handles for, or I like to wear these kind of heels, but my toes hurt or my feet hurt. Maybe you can start doing practicing, maybe do some calf exercises. So there's an exercise tracker, there's a social media tracker, there's a reading tracker, there's a communication tracker. I mean, when we spoke about collaborating, and I never thought this could be a better thing, because whatever I'm saying, there's exactly everything is in this, and it's more as a template. So instead of giving you, otherwise I would have been sharing, when I do my other programs, I share with people a PDF or a template, okay, track your goals this way, track your weekly goal, your monthly goal, your yearly goals, what are your thoughts, what are your process, what are your action plan going to be. And this is like one door stop for everything. And this is not like, okay, I'm here for these thing and I'm promoting this, but I genuinely believe it. And if you are someone who genuinely wants to make a difference and who wants to see a change, trust me, if you follow this, you get into the habit of writing, whether you get this planner or you get into a habit of writing a plan and following it up. But then it should not be a piece of paper, likha jab kahan gaya paper tomorrow, you don't know. So it's
Right.
very important to have it recorded and doing these things. And coming back to the place where before I got disconnected, about quickly reiterating the 5 workplace etiquettes which I said I will speak. The first thing I spoke about greetings. There were a few questions which some people asked about COVID, no handshake. We'll take up these questions after this together. So greetings and introduction and a handshake. First thing what I said. Be considerate when you're using that workplace, or people coming to your desk and you've just eaten, you put a wrapper of something or a biscuit or something. It's, imagine when I'm looking at it, what impression will I gain about you? So these are the things that cannot be ignored. Third thing about a workplace etiquette or
The
professionalism is,
five magical words.
yes. And thank you, somebody who said quickly, please. And I was
Yeah.
like, imagine such an easy one, and I was forgetting. So it's the way you, it's, you know, you, that quote, it's not what you say, but how you say it makes a difference. So these, there's no vacation for manners and etiquette. And the minute we understand this, that means right from where at home we are doing, after this, whoever is going to give you a cup of tea or going to serve you dinner, say thank you to them for making a good meal and you didn't have to do much about it. So these are personality development. These are those ethics what we spoke in the pyramid of, you know, being a standards and expectation of being a professional. Third is, do not give unsolicited advice. This is what I find a lot in people. And you know, when you see, people are always tempted to tell people what they should wear, they shouldn't wear, what they should eat, how they should live, how they should be happy, how should they manage relationship, how much they should exercise and all that. If people have not asked you, that means they don't want your advice. In workplace, it's very important that you respect people's personal boundaries. Saying that means, even if you're friendly to your boss or your manager, don't expect that you know, that friendliness should give you a preferential behavior. Keep those things apart. Same way, be personable, but do not be personal. In the sense, do not take your home matters, your personal matters to work. Do not open up everything. You should still know that you are trying to maintain an image. You want to always work for where you want to go, and this is exactly how you go back. And if I say talk about professional image, boosting it, branding yourself, or carving a niche, all these things are put together.
Great. What are the ways, that can boost professional presence?
Okay, let's understand one simple thing. We've been talking so much about everything, about etiquettes, manners, behavior, appearance, all that thing. Your personal presence, or the word presence means what? Presence means people who have powerful presence, people naturally gravitate towards them. They are very good in rapport building. They easily make friends wherever they go. They can convert any potential client into a actual customer and client over there. They can, you know, strike those deals and have those negotiations, and they're very confident in doing. So in simple words, you should be able to always think of yourself from that leadership quality. And a leadership quality or that powerful presence quality is that when you speak, people want to listen. When
Right.
you ask, people want to answer. And when you lead, people want to follow you. When you can do that, so you develop a habit. And that habit is, again, we saw, it's not just from one aspect of just dressing. I can dress well, but I speak well, I conduct, I sit in an obnoxious way and all. It won't happen. It is it's a full circle.
Absolutely. That's true. Your habits is important. Can professional image boost personal productivity?
Absolutely. I think by now, how much we have discussed, I think each one of you can realize, and after you did that, personal productivity is something nothing but your ability to grow. So over here I will quickly, because I know we are running out of time and I wasted myself, that
No, it's
unfortunately, I'm
okay.
sorry. um, I don't know how many of you have heard about the iceberg principle or analogy. You know, if you've seen an iceberg, in Titanic was one of the famous movies where the iceberg came and, you know, they couldn't see, and, you know, only the iceberg, and the iceberg is much huger than what you can see. So from distance, you can only see a tip. And actually, that's how the iceberg works. And that is how we individual, our self-image is basically. So the iceberg analogy is that the 10% of iceberg which we see is what we see in each one of us. Right now, you are looking at me, you're looking at Ridhi, and you're listening to us. That is what you're seeing is our skills, knowledge, and something what we're speaking from our experience. Where we are coming from is our experience. But below this iceberg, the 90% of our personality is first the social values and roles. Is that how I see myself in the society. My self image, how do I value my own self, what do I think about my own self, my traits, what some things that really come very naturally to me. They say that, like I feel like sometimes when they say your passion becomes your profession or your profession becomes your passion, something that comes naturally to you, talking to people, making friends, and something that doesn't come naturally to me. For me, trust me, technology is not something that comes naturally to me. I'm befriending technology. And motive, what excites you. There are certain things, certain opportunities you get, certain kind of projects you get that really tempt you, excite you, and your adrenaline rushes so much that you want to go ahead, no matter if you have to work 18 hours a day on that project for next 3 days, sleep for 6 hours, and that's enough, but you're happy to do it. These
Right.
are the things that affect your productivity. So today, whatever people are seeing is the 10% of yours is something which we have. So there are two ways that, just like your professional image has two sets of it, your professional appearance and professional behavior. Your personal productivity are two things: something that you are born with, you're grown with, it's a person who you are, and your upbringing and all the nurturing has taken place, and something with the situations and the experiences of your life have evolved you and grown into you. So you have to always understand at the end of the day, your productivity is all that is below the tip of the iceberg that you have to work yourself. So
Right.
you have to ask the questions, and that gives you answer, the skills. Can I do it? Can I not do it? Knowledge. Do I have the knowledge of it? Do not have a knowledge? Experience. Is it beneficial to me? Not beneficial. And that's how you actually go about doing anything what you're doing in your life.
Interesting. We'll just pick up a few questions before we just wrap it up. Um, Resolving work related conflicts within a team sometimes pushes us to get out of our general image, and it gets offensive at times. How do we handle this?
This is something, another very long thing to get into it. Like I just said that about the iceberg. There are different, when we talk about people, about personality, the quickly people think personality means handsome, tall, beautiful, pretty, thin. So that is not really, those are maybe the adjectives that describe some basic characteristic, but really personality is the kind of people we are, the kind of thinking we have, the various attributes and characteristics. So most of the time in workplace, we do not have conflict with a person because we don't like them, or they're not serious about their work, or they lack work ethic. It is just that they come from a different set of personality. I don't know how many people have. So these are like by educational psychologists. There is a proper theory done on different personality traits. Some people are activists, some are pragmatic, some are theorists, some are self-learners, reflectionists. They like to sit back and reflect and then take a decision. I'm sure in audience, there are a lot of people, whatever you're listening, some of you are immediately making notes, some of you will think about and observe, and then you'll go and check. So these are all our personality. That's why we say logical. For somebody, they easily adapt to it, and some will like, "Acha, dekhte hain, let's see the difference, let me see who the person is first, let me do more
True.
study." So these are the things. So when in workplace, uh, getting out of, that's why I said the 3 A's: your ability, accountability, and your appearance. You should not compromise on that. So when you're positive, so ability has a pattern of being positive attitude. So for having positive attitude, you need to start your day thinking positively, hence the gratitude, the affirmations which I say, because my affirmations will, obviously we also have our triggers, but when you, it takes you back to it. It becomes a habit, like brushing your teeth. When you're small and you're brushing your teeth, your mom will ask you 10 times, brush kiya nahi kiya, nahi, open your mouth and show me, brush kiya nahi kiya. But now, does anybody ask you? Because it's become a
Right.
habit. So this changing the way of handling situation is also emotional ability, requires a lot of work, but being consistent and
Absolutely.
tracking yourself.
And as you mentioned, habits, as APJ Abdul Kalam ji has said, you cannot change your future, but you can change your habits. And surely, if you change your habits, you can change your future, right? So
Future,
that's
absolutely.
got it. We have another question. I have a service based business and an active social media presence for my business account. But people keep telling me I should have an active personal online presence as well. I just don't feel comfortable sharing about my life. How can I get over this?
A lot of time people get, like I said, your brand is not your company, not what work you do. What people are trying to say, that they want to know more about you. Because for example, in my field, I'm an image consultant. I do put up pictures about my work, but I also put up pictures about my ideas, what I'm doing, what I like. So because people want to know who you are, that they trust you, or are you trying to mimic someone, or you're just somebody picking up data and putting from somewhere. They want to believe in what you're showcasing and teaching. reaching. So your social presence, you don't need to put up your personal life. You don't have to write about this is where in the introduction I want to bring a point. A lot of time I've done, I do these teacher training programs, and the first thing teachers introduce themselves, saying their name and how many years they're married and how many kids they have. Your introduction doesn't need to have all that. Nobody's asking you whether you're married, not married, how many kids and all that. It has nothing to do with your personal profile. It is
True.
about you, your passion, what are your interests, what are your likes. So you can actually show that, oh, I love monsoon weather, I love this rainbow, I love my cup of tea. These simple things that people just want to know a little bit more about you, and then they feel okay. Like I said, it's always people over project. If they can say that you are a real person, you connect faster, because you feel
True.
okay, they are like us, but they have made that journey, which we call sometimes really as role models, as inspirations. Probably, these are
Absolutely.
the people whom we feel are, they are like us.
True. True. We have another question. Being in India, we have a lot of different cultures following concepts. So, how do you convince the team that what I'm doing is the correct way?
Now, the idea over here is communication is a key to anything, first of all. But in that communication, leadership quality, you should always wear that six thinking hats. This is another analogy, where in that six thinking hats, you understand there are different people, different personalities. So what you might, for example, Riddhi and me are sitting here. Suppose the same project has to be proposed to us. Maybe Riddhi needs a different way. She might want it in a bullet point. She might want it in a properly legally done. And I'll be like, okay, I like the idea, I like the concept. Go ahead, trust me, I'm there. You just let me know kab aana hai, kya karna hai. There are different, so these are again personality types and all. So you have to be able to understand, काम किसी से अगर कराना है तो उसके शूज में आके काम कराना है, नॉट फ्रॉम योर शूज, बिकॉज फ्रॉम व्हेन यू डू फ्रॉम योर शूज, देन यू आर डूइंग द टिप ऑफ द आइसबर्ग के जो नीचे है, द थिंग्स दैट कम नेचुरली टू यू, जो आपको इजीली आता है वो शायद उसको इजीली नहीं आता, तो उसके वे में जाके उसको बोलना पड़ेगा. मे बी ही नीड्स और शी नीड्स जस्ट थोड़ा मोटिवेशन, थोड़ा गाइडेंस, थोड़ा अप्रिसिएशन दैट ओ यू कैन डू इट, आई नो तुमने लास्ट टाइम किया था, अगर नहीं भी आई एम देयर, बट गो हेड, बट मुझे मालूम. सो गिविंग ओपिनियन, दिस इज कॉल्ड वेयर यू गिव योर opinions, or you give your feedback, you give your suggestion without looking at you're imposing on them.
Absolutely true. We'll just take one last question. I'll be joining an MNC shortly. It's a business process services firm. The dress code followed there is business casuals. I'm joining as a middle level manager fresh out of B school. Okay. Can you throw some light on how one should ideally go about practicing the do's and avoiding the don'ts in the first week at office? So referring to physically going to the office.
Yeah, basically physically going to the office,
Yeah,
right?
not work from home.
Yes, absolutely. First and foremost thing, your visual appearance. And because since you're joining a multinational company, even though they say business casual, understand it doesn't mean wearing your jeans or wearing your sneakers or wearing a sleeveless or wearing a polo collar shirt. It just means that you don't have to wear a suit, you don't have to wear a tie, but you definitely need a formal shirt. You need proper footwear, a close footwear, men or women, either ways it is there. And most important thing, you have to understand you're new to the company. You say hello to people, and sometimes it's in the elevator also, in our own building elevator, we just start going in our phone. Do not do that. Just smile at people. If nothing else, just smile. So make yourself visible. Very important thing to having that powerful personal presence, professional brand. Make yourself visible, make yourself look like somebody who is approachable. So say hello, greet to people. Do not be extra sweet, do not have to smile all the time, that also looks a little awkward. But and also carrying yourself, so be very careful about your and to also be confident. Do not make yourself feel like you're a stranger also to the company or new to this. But at the same time, if you are hesitating, you do not understand something, you have ask questions. The people will love it. People will be more than happy to help you, rather than being all cool and not doing, or just sitting inside and thinking it's easy to be busy with a smartphone. No, take that lunch break, that coffee break, talk to somebody new, talk to
Absolutely.
whoever you can view is easy and approachable at
Yeah,
that
it's
point
much
of
better
time.
to actually go and talk to people, because that's when you make connections, right? And when you're completely new to the office, you would want to actually talk to more people and get to know people around, get to know the environment, work environment around, and that's only by talking to people, right? So yes, that's important. And be confident, ask questions, because that's also where newbies don't do that. They're like little very hesitant to ask questions, so don't do that. They Everyone knows you're fresh, you're coming out, you're beginning, so it's absolutely fine if you ask questions. As a recap now, just some key points, key takeaways that we can take quickly.
So I'll give you quick takeaways that you do. First thing is people over your project. So always value people in relationship, because understand people decide. They are the word of mouth, referrals. They are the best. You can get testimonials. Is your people who talk about you when you're not in the room. So always invest into your interpersonal skills. If you're someone who's been very shy and not open and approachable in talking, start taking that opportunity and start talking to people. Just break into, because it requires an art to make a conversation and continue the conversation, that you don't have an awkward silence or what to say and what not to say. Second, remember your image is your best visiting card. So just like you invest too much time in making your card and making your logo design and color and the font and what kind of card shape it should be, what should be the dimension, look at this as your best visiting card, because people will remember this. They might lose your
Right.
card, they might forget you, but they will not forget the kind of impact you leave on them. So
True.
take care of all those elements, which is physical appearance, mannerism, etiquette, communication, behavior, positivity. All that attitude should be there. Basically, that all eight circles what
True.
we spoke about. Also, plan when you dream something, plan it, write it. When you can dream it, you can plan it, you can write it, you can conquer it. So do not just have those, because we all, then thoughts which are left here are not dreams or goals, they are fantasies, and we all have fantasies, and we know fantasies do not really work in reality till we work. Lastly, all these skills are something that can be mastered. Like I said, some things we are born with and some things situations teach us, but some things we have to master ourselves. So wherever you are in your field, instead of comparing yourself with somebody else, look at yourself. What more do you need to do is to climb up that success ladder. How do you excel in your personal field? How can you boost your professional image? And learn those skills, whether you learn it from YouTube, you learn it from internet, you learn it from a trainer, or learn it from somebody whom you already admire as a personality. Look what they do different. How do they
Right.
create that kind of aura, and go about building your professional image
Great.
and getting all the success you deserve and desire.
Great. Thank you so much. I'd just like to mention that we have a special offer for today, that if you want to buy our planner, we will give you at a flat rate. So our MRP is 1625, but we will be giving it to you at only 1200, and without inclusive of all charges, including shipping. So yes, that's what we are offering right now.
Exciting.
And you all can visit us on Insta and Facebook at the following links. Can you also post down your link or wherever they can contact you, Tarveen, so that it's easier for them to, if
Yes,
they have any
in fact,
questions?
I'm just about to share a link which would I would love to hear back from you. It's basically a kind of feedback. I want to know people, or if you have any more questions or doubt, we can always take it offline, because here we have to respect the time. I'm sure many people have many other questions. We can take that offline. And how did you think about this? Because Vidhi and I are thinking of doing a lot of more things after this also. So it will be great to know your valuable feedback as well. So I'm just about to share in the chat box the link, because the computer got shut. So I'll have to just restore it back, that link. And thank you once again. It's amazing to have such beautiful, fabulous, with a lot of participants on the webinar and people who have watched us live. I hope it was as helpful as I was excited discussing it, sharing. And thank you, Riddhi, once again for this great, great interaction.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. We will be having our next webinar on the coming weekend. So stay tuned. We'll keep you updated. Yes. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. We had an amazing session, Tarveen. We got beautiful insights on how to boost their professional image. I'm pretty sure now that people will start working in their offices and all of that. I think they'll, have that nice zeal and that nice confidence to, work there. They'll know how they can keep in mind the few tricks that you mentioned, the few tips that you mentioned. Yes, thank you so much, everyone, and we will see you next week. Thank you.
Yes, and I've just shared the link. You can just take the link from the chat box. And yes, please be safe. Take care. Thank you once again. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you. Bye.